Is it possible to get perfection in just 1 year? We're gonna find out. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another episode of the Perfection Challenge. We're gonna start with watering up the crops, and it is the 11th of spring, so we're still quite fresh into the challenge. Once the watering of crops is complete, we're gonna make some furnaces. The more furnaces we have, the more bars we can smelt up, and we're gonna need tons of bars if we want to achieve perfection. We're then going to take our copper axe and we're going to break open all of these small tree stumps. Once we're finished with this, we're going to pay Clint a nice visit and we're going to upgrade our regular copper pickaxe into a steel pickaxe. We're then going to go to the beach and we're going to do some hoeing spots. We're then going to make a bait maker, and the reason for the bait maker is to allow us to pull up very specific fish for the rest of the challenge. So once we get a couple of largemouth basses, we're going to put those into the bait maker, get back largemouth bass bait, and that will allow us to pull up largemouth basses for the rest of the day. Now, you're not guaranteed largemouth bass each time, but there's a very, very high chance we will get the largemouth bass one after the next. When it gets into the evening time, we will try our hand at bullheads, and this is just the tip on the iceberg when it comes to using the powers of the bait maker. Wait until we start to do some catfishing. Wait till we get into summer and we get the more exotic fish. So we got a skill up in foraging, which was really nice. We're now into day number 12, and for the rest of the day, that's right, we're going to do even more fishing. We are aiming for a fishing skill of 10, and we just unlocked that today, which is great. Because we now have maximum fishing, we can get the very powerful fishing perk, Angler Fish Worth 50% more. We're going to go and get the Georgia membership, because if we want to get perfection, the Georgia route is the way to go, especially if we want to achieve everything in year 1. The sooner we can get to Ginger Island, the better. And I know a lot of people were hoping for the community center route in the comments in the previous video, but don't worry folks, we will eventually do a challenge where we have to use the community center to get perfection in year 1. I just need a little bit more experience with the community center, but that will happen, and it will happen a lot sooner than you think. So we're doing more help wanted quests, and we're also collecting all of the mushrooms from the mushroom cave. We do get valuable foraging XP for those. For the rest of the day, we're just going to cut down huge amounts of trees. The sooner we can get foraging level 5, the better, because we can then take the gatherer perk, and that would give us a chance to pull up 2 forageables instead of 1, giving us more forageables, more importantly, double foraging XP. Now the big question is, will we be going to the Desert Festival on the 15th? We won't, because we just didn't have enough money or skills accumulated. But it's not the end of the world if we don't get into the Skull Caverns on the 15th, 16th or 17th. We will have the rest of the year to do as many Skull Cavern challenges as possible. Now we are going to go to the Easter event here on the 13th because we want to get strawberry seeds. We need those in order to get perfection. We're going to sell 1 for the shipping bin collection, and then we're going to save the rest and we're going to use them for loved gifts, because Maru and Demetrius both love strawberries. And if we can get some gold star strawberries amassed, that's going to make our lives way easier when it comes to getting friendship points with those NPCs. With the rest of the strawberries, we're going to sell those to make a nice profit. We also put our legend into the fish pond. We now have a legend fish pond, and hopefully every couple of days that will give back some legend raw, which sells for over 2,000 gold a pop. Once we get our farming skill up even more, we can make reserve jars. We can really, I mean really, get a lot of money from that legend fish pond. We went down to the tide pool area before the day was finished just to get some forageables. We made a total of 13,381 gold today. Most of that came from selling fish. We also got our first piece of legend roll today, which was nice. We collected some mushrooms inside of the mushroom cave. We're now going to run around Stardew Valley. We're going to pick up forageables as we go along. We're then going to go to George. George was looking for the parsnip as part of a help wanted quest. We completed that. We're also going to give George a leek while we're here, just to get some extra friendship points. We're then going to talk to Evelyn as well, but we didn't have any love gifts for her. With the prize ticket, we are going to get 15 pieces of mixed flower seeds. We will plant those back on the farm. We're going to go to Clint and get back our steel pickaxe. Now we have 16,000 gold. We're not finished with Clint. We are going to give him our copper axe and upgrade that to a steel. That means we will be able to get access to the secret woods, so we will be able to farm hardwood every single day if we so wish. And farming hardwood is something that we're going to do now much earlier rather than later in the challenge, because we have to remember, if we want to get to Ginger Island very quickly, we will need tons of hardwood to fix up the boat. Now we got quite lucky today in the mines. We ended up getting a couple of diamonds, and that was really nice in terms of money and in terms of mining XP. The weapon we're using right now, the wood mallet, it's still a really nice weapon. The ground pound is still very much overpowered for the mid-level enemies of the mines. Now, I'm not too concerned on getting down to floor 120 as quickly as possible. What I'm really after is lots and lots of resources. You also have to take into consideration monster eradication goals. There is a lot to do in order to achieve perfection. Wiping out monsters is one of the many tasks that we need to accomplish. We just picked up the lead rod. That's a really nice weapon. It has slightly higher base damage than that of the wood club, but it's a little bit slower. Between the two weapons, the lead rod, I suppose, might be a little bit better if it was a little bit faster. Now, these skeletons we're starting to encounter because we got into the floor 70s. They have a lot of HP and they don't give a whole lot of combat XP when you kill them, but they do drop a few things that can be quite valuable in the early games. For example, they drop bone fragments. It's always nice to stock up on those earlier rather than later. They have a lot of uses later on in the challenge. There's also a chance they can drop the bone sword. We just picked up a bone sword here. Any extra bone swords we get, we can sell to Marlin at the Adventurers Guild for 250 gold apiece. So it's really nice to get a lot of those. Now, we got quite lucky today with iron deposits. We got a lot of iron today, and a lot of this iron ore will be turned into iron bars. We won't actually be using most of this to make bombs, believe it or not. We need to use this to make other things. We need to make recycling machines, we need to make crab pots, and the reason why we're making those things is because we want to have a farm that's very versatile. We want to have a farm that has a lot of things going on in it to make perfection a lot easier. Now, we end up getting a level up in mining and a level up in combat straight after, which was really nice today. And because we had so many help wanted quests done and because we got so many prize tickets, we activated the event here for Mr. Key to drop mystery boxes. There's now a chance we can get mystery boxes from all different manner of activities. Level 5 mining, we're going to take miner for now. We're going to get +1 ore every time we break open a node. We got fined 1,000 gold for passing out in the mines, but you know what, it was worth it because we made some pretty good progression. The next day though was really nice because we can harvest all these lovely forageables and we can use all these forageables to make even more wild seeds. Now, we're not going to plant most of those. We will plant some, we'll sell some, and then we'll keep some of the forageables as well for loved gifts. Because today was raining, I didn't have to water up all the crops, which is really nice. We also had 13,000 gold, but we're going to go straight back into the mines because I wanted to get a lot more skill ups in combat and mining, and this is the best place to do it. We can now get access to gold ores, and we're going to need hundreds of gold bars for many of the stuff that we need to make. We picked up the genie shoes as well. They're actually really nice for the immunity. They give something like 5 or 6 immunity, but they only give a +1 to defense. And I will always prioritize defense over immunity any day of the week. On floor 90 we picked up the obsidian edge and we switched to that weapon straight away, and this will be the weapon of choice unless we can get something more exotic from the chests down here. A tempered broadsword would be nice, maybe even a steel falchion. Now, we do get quite lucky in the next few days and we pick up a fierce nice weapon, but I'm not going to ruin it right now. You're all going to have to guess in terms of what we're going to get, but the weapon that we do get is really nice and it comes with a very powerful enchant. The squid kids are always such a nice enemy to defeat. They get 15 XP upon defeat and it's just one hit to destroy them. We also got a new book of power here known as the Monster Compendium, and that gives a very small chance for enemies to drop double the loot when they are defeated. So it's always nice to get that earlier rather than later. Now, we ended up getting very lucky on floor 96 and we got yet another diamond. And most of these diamonds, believe it or not, we're actually selling them. I'm not actually accumulating them for triple shot expressos just yet because I'm still at a stage where I'm not happy with the amount of money that I have. I want to unlock the bus, I want to get it into the Skull Caverns, so I'm now at that stage where I just want to accumulate lots of money, but there's other things I also want to get. I also want to get the fish smoker. If we can get that early, we can more or less double the profits of fish that we get every single day. And because we're going into the mines now most days, we do have a lot of gold accumulated. We end up getting the Holy Blade, which is really nice. That comes with an enchant called Crusader. It does bonus damage against undead enemies. That will actually come in very handy when we go to Skull Caverns when we're fighting mummies. Now, that is of course if we haven't picked up anything better before then. When I got down to floor 104, I ended up getting tons of cave carts, which was nice. Level 5 combat took fighter, all attacks at 10% more damage, and we also picked up the steel axe off Clint. Now, with the steel axe, we're going to break open that large tree stump, and with the steel pickaxe, we're going to break open the large stone. Just to the right of Clint's house, we're now going to get a new book of power called the Alleyway Buffet, and this increases the chances of us getting items from trash cans. It just makes the trash cans a little bit more lucrative. We're also picking up salmon berries from the bushes as well. We're going to get the final backpack upgrade for 10,000 gold. It's better to just get that now and get it out of the way. Just means I'm not throwing away a lot of valuable resources picking up in the mines. We get another level up in mining. We come across a lot of emerald nodes today. They're not as good as diamond nodes, but they do yield 80 mining XP when you break one open, and you can sell emeralds for I think it's 250 gold a pop. I'll floor 110 when we get to space boots, and they're the best boots you can get, more or less, before you get to Ginger Island. I used a cherry bomb to blow up a huge cluster of gold nodes. It was just a sight to behold. I got tons of gold ores from it, and I got tons of mining XP. Before we knew it, we made it down to floor 20 in the regular mines. We picked up the skull key. Now, the reason why I picked this up is because enemies now have a chance to drop prismatic shards. It's a very low chance, but you never know. Any enemy in the mines has a chance on dropping it. Sure, the enemies are harder to kill, but we had a fairly good weapon. We got more skill ups today. Level 6 mining means we can make regular bombs. That's something we might make in the next couple of days. More legend row means more profits for me. 5,000 gold right there. And that's why we went with the fishing pond early and we didn't sell the legend. Because the money we're going to make from that pond far outweighs the money we would have made for selling the legend when we first got it. If it was a spring challenge only, I probably would have sold it. But because it's a 1-year challenge, it's good to accumulate lots of fish ponds. Because we had the steel axe, we can get rid of all these large tree stumps all around the farm. We're also going to visit Gunther here in the museum, and we are going to donate even more items we picked up from the mines. It's absolutely worth donating all these items early on, because we also need all of the rare crows if we want to make the deluxe scarecrow. That's something we also have to think about, and there's a handful of rare crows you can get from donating all of the items in the museum. Not to mention a star drop that we also need for perfection, so there's multiple reasons why we want to get this done sooner rather than later. That marble I got, I was thinking of keeping it and putting it into a crystallarium, guaranteeing me a second marble, because we need that to make a blazer later on, but I ended up just donating it. I surely will come across at least one more marble later on in the challenge. Hopefully it's a choice I don't come to regret. Could you imagine us failing progression or having to buy a percentage because we couldn't get another marble? It would actually be funny and sad at the same time. Now, because we have our fishing skill maxed out, it doesn't mean we're going to stop fishing. We are going to absolutely fish. We're going to use that level 10 perk to the best of our abilities. Eventually, I will get the fish smoker, and we can start smoking up all these largemouth basses. We can start smoking up all of the bullheads, and if we get rainy days, we can spend the whole day just putting up catfish, and we can start smoking those up as well. And then we're going to see some serious money come through. We made a lot of money today. You know, we had a lot of largemouth bass caught, a lot of bullheads, some carp in there as well. If we take a look at the mining stuff, we got diamonds, lots of gold bars. Gold bars are really nice in the early days. Obsidian, jasper, those things have already been donated, so any spare ones we get, we just sell them. In terms of monster parts, solar essences, slimes, bat wings, white essences, eventually we will have to accumulate a lot of those to make certain items in the game, but we have the whole year for that. For now, we're just going to sell lots of stuff and get lots of money. It was actually Pam's birthday today, and I had a gold star parsnip. Pam loves those. It got her right up to 3 hearts. Pam will give us a recipe note the next day for that. I also went to Gus and I picked up a spaghetti. Reason being, we're making our way up to Robin's with her last axe. It would be nice to give her a loved gift while we're up here. We also gave Gus a green algae because he wanted one as part of a help wanted quest, so that was one step closer to getting another prize ticket. Now, we got very lucky here with Sam. He wanted a diamond as part of help wanted quest. That's the most profitable help wanted quest you can get. You get back 2,250 gold. With the prize ticket, we're going to get more mystery boxes. If we get one more prize ticket, we can pick up the star drop tea, and that will be used on some NPC's birthday, especially an NPC where we can give them maybe a gold star loved gift, just to more or less max them out or almost max them out. The more NPCs we can get maxed out now, the better. So we're back in the mines. We're in the mid-tier. We're focusing on iron ores. We're focusing on jades. There's a chance you can get jades from killing slimes. We're also focused on monster eradication goals. The dust sprites does take quite some time, but the more dust sprites we kill in the early days, the less we have to kill in the later days. We do have to kill 500 of these. Now, because this is a perfection run, there is no restrictions. That means I can go all out once I get all of the masteries. And there's a real cool combat build I will be using later on. where we can use the burglar ring, we can use the hot jabber ring, we can use the parrot, and basically we're just going to go around with a monster musk, wiping out monsters left, right and centre, and the items that we're going to get from that we can sell to make huge amounts of money. I'm going to show you in this video how profitable combat can actually be. Mastery was just a fantastic rebalance of the whole game. Not only did it make farming even more overpowered, but it made all of the other professions extremely powerful as well, and not just in the money making category. That Woodcutter's Weekly was an absolute magnificent drop from wiping out those dust sprites. It gave me 250 XP towards foraging, and that's the bones of cutting down a huge amount of trees. It's always nice to get skill books when we go and fight enemies. These infested floors were an absolute godsend. The more enemies I get to fight, the better. So we get level 3 farming at the end of the day. We can now make bee houses. And when I unlocked the recipe for the bee house, it hit me quite hard, and I realised I didn't have any sort of tappers put down yet. I didn't have any tree farms made. So we are going to take the time to put down some trees, because we want to get oak resins, we want to get pine tars, and of course we want to get maple syrups as well. So we're going to go to Pierre here now, and we are going to purchase some kale. I need to make some money. I mean lots of money. So I thought to myself, 200 pieces of kale should be doable. I could have bought way more. But if I bought more, I'd spend the whole day watering, and we don't want that. I went to Clint, I picked up my gold axe. We're now going to hand in our steel pickaxe and upgrade that to a gold pickaxe. Now we can't upgrade those any further. We will have to do skull carbon runs. But it is nice to have gold tools much earlier rather than later. Once we're finished with the axe and the pickaxe, we'll go through the rest of them as per usual. The watering can, the hoe, and of course the pan when we pick that up as well. We're going to go to Willie and buy the fish smoker. This is going to dramatically increase profits we make from fishing. I gave Haley a daffodil as well because I want to get more friendship points up with her. Jodie gave me a quest to give her the cauliflower, so I gave her one, and I gave her an additional cauliflower just to get some friendship points up with her as well. We're now back on the farm, and I used my scythe to get lots of unmilled rice. I'm just going to sell this raw. If I had a mill, I could have turned it into rice, but you can just buy it from Pierre as well. I sold the unmilled rice just to make some extra money, but I think we also need to sell it for the shipping collection as well. We're then going to spend the rest of the day hoeing up the ground and planting kale. This is going to be a big project, but it is going to pay off so well, and it's going to give us a lot of farming XP. It would be nice to go into summer with the ability to make quality sprinklers. Once we get the quality sprinklers down, we can eventually cover the whole farm with them, and then we can start purchasing thousands upon thousands of crops, because we also need to get the gold clock. Now, someone mentioned that it was cheaper to, buy 10% of perfection rather than spend 10 million gold to get the gold clock that gives you 10%. Just so we're all clear, I want to get as much natural progression as possible when it comes to achieving perfection. So I will absolutely be aiming to purchase the gold clock with all of the warp obelisks. I went to the saloon today. I gave Clint an amethyst, he loves those. I then spoke with Gus. I purchased 2 beers, a salad, and I also purchased a spaghetti along with a coffee. And the reason why I'm getting these, I also got the pizza there as well, is because these are all loved gifts for people. Now, I didn't want to buy too much because I didn't have huge amounts of money, but because everybody was here, or most people were here except Harvey, I thought it was just a good idea to start giving lots of love gifts out now to get those extra friendship points. And it's going to pay off real well. I'm also going to visit Marlon, and I'm going to sell him all of the items I'm never going to use again, all of the weapons I'm never going to use, all of the boots I'm never going to use. It just means that I have a lot more inventory slots in my chests, and I made a little bit of money as well from selling stuff that's actually useless right now. I also went down into the secret woods as well, and we are going to wipe out all of these lovely tree stumps for foraging XP and for hardwood. There's also a chance we can get mahogany seeds from that as well. I made some recycling machines with my iron bars, so we're going to make 5 of those in total because we have lots of trash accumulated from all of the fishing we've been doing. The next day was raining, but the day after is also a rainy day, so we got extremely lucky here with that 200 kale that we planted. I also got 500 pieces of gold off the mare, which is really nice. Now all of those iron bars that I'm collecting, they're going to be used to make even more stuff, including crab pots. I also needed wood to make crab pots as well, so I spent a good deal of time this morning just cutting down lots of trees to get lots of wood. While I was cutting down trees, those furnaces were smelting up more iron bars for me. I had a lot of iron accumulated, so I can make lots of iron bars no problem at all. I was also very close to getting foraging level 6. We do want to get foraging level 7 as quickly as possible, because then we can make tree fertilizers and we can start making lovely tree farms. Gold Axe was really paying off in terms of time and energy. It just took a handful of swings, not as good as the Iridium, but still, I was cutting down trees very quickly. So I made lots of crab pots. I then went to Caroline, gave her the daffodil as part of a help wanted quest, gave her another daffodil because it's a liked gift. I got 90 gold there, but I'm not really after the money for those quests, it's more so for the friendship points. Now I was hoping for some snails today in the crab pots, but we weren't that lucky. We got lots of crayfish and other bits and bobs. We can sell all those. I'm going to put a lot more crab pots down by the beach so we can get more items down here, including lobster. And guess who loves lobster? That's right, our good friend Elliot is a huge lobster fan. I also went down to the tide pools because today is Saturday, and we want to collect all of the forageables before they reset back into the Sunday. We got lots of sea urchins and lots of cords. Now I'm happy enough with one bait maker. You don't really need more than one, so we're just going to sell all those. Now we will eventually start accumulating those too, because you do need those to make certain recipes in the game later on, including a warp obelisk to the beach. Once we were finished with harvesting all of the stumps in the secret woods, we went up to the lake and we started pulling up way more fish. We then went down and we gave Shane a bear because it was his birthday, and that got Shane right up the 3 hearts, which was pretty nice. For the rest of the evening we went down to do some fishing. We got some catfish, we're going to sell those, but I might just keep one to put into a bait maker so we can abuse the catfish the next day. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to abuse those. Level 6 foraging, and that is the end of another Let's Play episode. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you have a great week and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.